is a daily opinion podcast. Fact check, not checking no facts with your guy, Angelo Young. Been a second, but I'm back at it. But yeah, things have gone crazy, and I'm gonna let you know I tried not to do the political stuff, but this podcast is gonna be wild political. So or at least it's going to have a good amount of political stuff within it. So if you want to kind of steer clear, this may not be for you. But other than that, I'm just shooting. So, and some of these topics may have been from 2+ weeks ago, but hey, just take it as it is. I'm just trying to catch up. So right now I'm looking at Nick Fuentes pushing a lady down because she, apparently found his house. So his address was leaked online. And, I'm not even sure what this lady's doing over here. Walks up to his door. He sees her on his little camera, and he comes out immediately. First thing you see of Nick Fuentes is his hand pepper spraying the lady in the face, I believe, and then pushing her down maybe 3 steps of his stairs onto the ground. And when I first saw this, I was like, isn't this clear assault? Like, I don't think you can just assault people standing on your porch. Like, that means that you can go out there and just start hacking away at, someone delivering the newspaper or a delivery DoorDash driver. It's like you have to anticipate that if you live in a house, sometimes people will come up to your doorstep, whether it's soliciting items, whether it's like giving you things that you ask for, because, you might, maybe not the nighttime, but middle of the day, you may have like a pizza delivery driver accidentally knock on your door. I literally had it twice this weekend. So I think there's an assumed like you can't just attack people, so I believe Nick Fuentes was arrested for this. I mean, this is crazy, but I think a year or two ago, there was a guy that killed his entire family and then went over to Nick Fuentes' house with a crossbow, knocking on his door to, I assume, kill him as well for whatever reason. So, this guy might be on edge, but it's also crazy because it's like, bro, like, if you're going to, that's the thing. If you want to be that polarizing of a figure, you can't be just in a regular house. You can't just, because that's the thing, like, and I understand, like, a lot of people are going to say, well, you should be able, in the perfect world, you should be able to just live anywhere. It's like, yeah, in a perfect world, clearly this is in the perfect world. I mean, we're clearly seeing like a coup of America at this point where people are taking shit over unjustly. So clearly we don't live in a perfect world. So the thing is that like, if you want to be polarizing and like put a target on your back, at least protect yourself, buddy. Like pushing people down, spray mason people, that's fine. But if you're just living on a regular ass street, like expect your door to get knocked down at some point. Here, let me actually read the whole thing. Footage shows Nick Fuentes confronting a woman outside of his home after his address was reportedly shared online. The encounter escalated quickly at the doorway and ended in a physical altercation. The woman had approached the property to film, and the situation led to a misdemeanor battery charge against Fuentes, followed by community service and a written apology. Supporters point to the dangers of doxing and showing up at someone's residence, arguing that people have a right to defend their space. Critics argue the response went too far. The bigger question is where the line is between protecting your home and escalating the situation. Well, that's the thing. That's the easiest thing, is because from what I know about the law, and which isn't much, but from what I know is that even if you shoot, like in certain states, if it doesn't have a stand your ground law, obviously if it has stand your ground, I believe you can pretty much shoot anyone that enters your house. But again, that does not mean you can just randomly shoot people outside of your home because you feel threatened. That means nothing. You're fucking schizophrenic at that point. Because actually, I want to say there was a video of a police officer. This DoorDash driver went down the wrong road. Like clearly it's like in the woods and shit like that, but went down the wrong road and ended up at the edge of a police officer's like property. Police at nighttime. So police officer comes out yelling and screaming, "Get away, get off my and guys trying to, explain to him. Then police officer starts letting off shots into the air, and dude's like, okay, let me get up out of here. So he literally like, does a 3-point turn, is leaving his house, and then for some reason the police officer guy, he's in his underwear and shit with a pistol. Like, points the pistol directly at the car and fires and then hits the guy, I think, in his back. I don't believe the DoorDash driver died, but it's like, why even do that? Like, just because it's your land does not give you just right to do whatever you can't just, you can't just make crack on your property. Like, it's not completely yours. Like, we should understand that as Americans, that just because you quote unquote own something, that doesn't make it yours. You can't just do whatever you want with it. You can't run a child, prostitution ring just because it's your property or your house. Like, there are still laws that apply. So even if someone's on your property, that does not give you wherewithal to just murder recklessly or assault recklessly. Now inside your house is a different issue. But again, on your property does not just mean like, oh, okay, I can just murder whoever I feel like. And as I was saying with like the whole stand your ground law, obviously stand your ground, that's fine if you're in your house. But a lot of states that don't have stand your ground law pretty much is like you can only use deadly force once you try to retreat the perfect amount, which is funny to me because I'm like, I don't understand why people put so much emphasis on human life. Yes, obviously you don't want people to get murdered in the street, but it's also like, are you really going to like fault me because I didn't try to get my family as far, like as deep into the house as possible? Because if I were like, if there's a chance that like, hey, if I were to die, now they're just backed up into a corner and sitting ducks for whoever, is in the house trying to do whatever to them. It's like, no, sometimes you need to go downstairs, and if the situation isn't handled, then they know like, okay, dad didn't make it. This guy's clearly up here. We need to jump out of a window. Now, if you put your family in the fucking attic, and guy goes up to the attic, there's no place to run at that point. So that's where, liberal or maybe leftist ideology kind of gets in the way of like safety, because they're, and not they, like I'm a liberal as well, but it's like you can't put a garbage ass person who's breaking into your house trying to hurt you, your wife, or your kids' life over theirs, like when they're a piece of shit. Like if they're doing that to people, then they probably don't need to live in the first place, in my opinion. If they're putting their life on the line just to hurt, to cause the maximum amount of carnage for no good reason to a perfectly fine family that's minding their own business, then they probably don't need, like, we probably don't need to amend ourselves to them. You know what I mean? But, it is what it is. But yeah, like, shout out to Nick Fuentes, I guess. Fuck this guy. I don't care for his material, but he's bigger than me, so fuck him. But yeah, shit. Hopefully he gets that battery charge. But this is only going to keep happening. Like, he has to move from this place. I don't even know why he thinks that this is like an appropriate place for him to live when he knows that he talks like, it's crazy. It's like racial shit. It's like, it's not Nazi, but like, some people are better than other people, type stuff. So I don't know. Like, maybe he needs to get his fucking mind right. Maybe he doesn't understand how the world really works. He might just be like, hey, I've been around certain people my entire life. Other people won't come to where I am in order to hurt me. I don't know if that's his mindset or if it's not, because, if it was, he might have just put a fucking 12 gauge through the doorway and killed this lady versus just pushing her down some stairs. But who knows? Fuck it. Hopefully this guy fucking moves or does something, because his security system is fucking atrocious. At least have someone outside your house. I mean, here, let me actually see how much this man makes, if he's doing shit like that, or if he's just kind of a talking piece at this point and not making too much money right now. Yeah, so he's worth approximately $1 million, they say. But people always say that like if you look up on Google like someone's net worth, it's never like or even close to what well, that's the thing. They say it's not close to what they're actually worth. Because I know Charlemagne the God said that, like some rappers say shit like that, where they say like, how much does it say I, make? And it's like 5 million. They're like, I don't have nearly, but they're not, also taking in their assets. They're not like their net worth is probably also including like, how much they have to pay their manager. Let me see if that is even true. Like, ancillary charges where it's like, hey, in order for me to be a rapper, I have to pay my manager. In order for me to be a rapper, I also have to pay for, jewelry and clothes and all this other shit. So it's like, you got a lot more shit than you think. Just because it's not in your bank account don't mean that you don't have that amount of money somewhere around. And then they're also not including interest. So they might have bought a house for $250,000 $100,000 back in '98, like some Snoop Dogg type of rapper, and now it's worth 3 million, and he's not even accounting for that in his head. Where it's like, I only bought that for $250,000. It's like it went up 6 times because of the fucked up market. But shit, I don't know. I guess I kind of got away from the point there, but fuck it, it is what it is. All right, let's move on to the next one. Oh, this one's fun. I've been waiting on to talk about this. So this is the J.P. Morgan scandal between Lorna Hagini and who's the lady or the female's name? Let me figure that out. Oh shoot, that was the lady's name. The guy's name is Chiryu Rana, 35 years old. Now a principal at Briegel Sagemount. So essentially what was going on was that the guy said that his this Indian man said that his white boss was sexually not even harassing. What is it called? Like pretty much raping him, honestly. Let's see. So John Doe, Chiranu Rana, I'm just gonna call him Rana from now on. Now principal John Doe unmasked, blah blah blah. Jesus, what the fuck? Okay, I'm just gonna give it from my mindset. So pretty much he was saying like, hey, my boss has been raping me for the past few years, and pretty much saying like terrible things about my wife, saying like extremely racist things to me while I worked at JP Morgan, and just doing terribly like harassing things while in the workplace, and then also, as I said, raping him essentially. So obviously, if this is true, then it's terrible, but it seems with everything coming out that this is completely fabricated by Rana. But let's at least dive into some of the things that he actually said that the Miss what's her name? Miss Laura? Yeah, Miss Lorna said. And these are some wild shit because this guy, he's apparently married to, he married to his wife, but what he's saying that his boss was saying to him as she was molesting him is some wild shit. So here we go. We have, your balls don't taste like curry. What girl talks like that? Dude was crying while getting a BJ against his will. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sexual abuse, racial harassment, and career threats. She forcibly removed Rana's pants and performed oral sex on him against his will. The victim began to cry, but Hadini, who is Lorna, scolded him for failing to achieve an erection. I don't know. See, I don't want to get into it because that's kind of like a disgusting point on the podcast, but I don't know how you could be getting, I don't know, like, because you would still be turned off by it. I feel like you would stay flaccid, but I don't know. Different things happen to the body's a mystery. You know what I'm saying? Here's another quote. Stop fucking crying. You think anyone would ever believe you? You're a fucking douchebag who thinks he's hot shit, but you can't even get your dick hard for me. Yeah, that's not getting your dick hard. That's not going to make me get your dick hard. Oh, did you play basketball in college? I love basketball players. They get me so wet. Actually, quick sidebar. I was watching Jennifer's Body. It was a movie in like 2006, maybe, something like that. And it was a horror movie. And essentially this demon takes over this girl's body, and she's going around like trying to have sex with young boys, but essentially killing them. Like, young boys are horny, so she's getting in secluded places and then killing them, right? So this is Jennifer. And one of the craziest lines in that movie is, pretty much she gets this guy into like this house, and he's just like, I didn't even know you liked me. Like, that's crazy that you let me take you out or whatever. And she's like, you haven't seen me making like Google eyes at you in school, everything. You give me a wetty. I'm like, I've never fucking heard of some shit like that before. Like, I don't know. For some reason that stuck out to me. I told my wife she didn't really seem phased, but I don't think girls go around saying wetty. It makes me think like, I don't know, just aggressive. That shit's an aggressive word for me. But getting back to the JP Morgan story, if you don't fuck me soon, I'm going to ruin you. Never forget I fucking own you. That's far. I fucking own you. I will make you pay. Do you think you're going to be be in good standing if you don't have me in your corner? You really think management wants some brown boy Indian leading organizations? origination. I think they fucked that word up. That's not me fucking up. It's originations is how it's spelled, but I don't even know what that is. That's past my fucking grade point. If you don't fuck my brains out tonight, I'm gonna sabotage your promotion. She being forthright with this shit. I'd be like, bro, like you shouldn't do the negative, because then that means I'm fucking you and not getting promoted. It should be, if you fuck me, you get promoted, because then like it's gonna be negative. I'm working hard and work my ass off and doing overtime fucking this broad, and I'm not even gonna get promoted. Like, what the fuck? Who are you gonna promote then? You gonna promote someone else that you not fucking? You're insane. You don't think I'm gonna leave? You must be stupid. Let's see. Here's a different page. I want to make sure that I got all the good ones. There's one in here that is wild as hell. The whole threaten his bonus premise collapse. Hajini reported to a completely different manager. Okay, yeah, and so pretty much as his reports start coming out, and then they show his face. Apparently, all this stuff that he's saying is just like, I think he even went on like some sort of AI platform and literally asked them all the questions in order to like kind of win the case, and like what he should say and what he should say that she did. So it's pretty cut and dry that this guy fucked around a little bit too much and tried to get cute with the story. But yeah, it's going to be interesting here. So the whole threat in his bonus premise collapse. Had Jeannie reported to a completely different managing director than Rana. She had no say over his compensation. So that's rough. JP Morgan pulled phone records, reviewed emails, interviewed the full team, found nothing. Rana even refused to participate in his own investigation. A colleague described Rana as socially awkward, but someone who met the requirements to stay at the bank. So he's like bare minimum kind of stupid. Before any lawsuit, he tried to negotiate a payout in the millions to leave the bank quietly. They didn't bite. He filed a court filing, and then his lawyers redacted it for corrections and then deleted it. But the Daily Mail already ran the whole thing, and the rest of Twitter did its thing. Yeah, here, where the fuck is that quote? I want to make sure I quote it directly. Fabricate a whole story in lawsuit. Let me just check this out. I'm at the pause. Here we go. I was able to find it. And this was one of the premises that was on the Flagrant podcast, so I don't want to say like I'm just finding this out myself. But it was, I bet your little Asian fish head wife doesn't have these cannons. That's a fucking bar. That's so fucking crazy. Fish head is crazy. I don't even know. It's just cannons like this. It just has like the right amount of viciousness, hatred, like racism, but also knowing about the culture in order to even say some shit like that, and then flip it around and then say something overtly sexual and then like aggressive. Like that's like a very on the fucking nose sort of line. But yeah, apparently it's all, so then that's even fucked up, because now he's probably gonna go to his wife and she's gonna be like, so you just made all that shit up? you talked all that shit about me in court and just made all of it up? She didn't say anything like that? Yeah, we're getting a divorce, nigga. But yeah, I mean, guy looks like a fucking goofball. But and that's the thing, is like, I feel like when people started seeing who the lady was, they were like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, obviously good looking teachers fuck their kids sometimes. I don't know what that is. That's more just pedophilia, but these two people, they're grown. It's like when you look at the girl and you look at the guy, I mean, there's a clear distinction in who looks, I guess, traditionally more attractive, which is the lady. She's probably like a 7 and the guy's probably like a 5. Like, it's not a huge distinction. And, obviously those numbers are up to interpretation, but not a huge distinction. But it's like, I don't think she's hurting to try to find someone to give blowjobs to. Like, I don't think girls are really out there like, man, I really can't find a guy to suck on. You know what I'm saying? So, fun story. I mean, this is a great story. I can't wait. There has to be like some sort of, I think I might do a deep dive on this story. We'll see. I think I'm gonna do like a special and just kind of like the LeBron James shit and see what comes out of it. But yeah, no, this is an excellent story. I love it. This is something new, something nice, rather than Trump trying to destroy America here. So this is a pretty interesting one. So with all these data centers popping up, like they're trying to make a huge like 400,000 square foot data center in Utah and shit, which is like I think it's like 6 times bigger than any data center that's been made. Or I mean, I could be wrong on these numbers. I'm just spitballing off the top of my head, but I remember hearing about it. But it's like all these data centers are popping up, and I believe in Massachusetts. Don't quote me on the state, but there was a vote to see if they wanted a data center in their neighborhood, and it seems like majority of people did not want it, but the legislators passed it. Obviously, they got fucking paid off by whoever is doing these data centers. And it's like, yo, these fucking enormous data centers that need all this, computer components, like they're getting more and more expensive. Like RAM now is fucking through the goddamn roof. Where it was like $120 last year, it's $400 a day. It's went 4 times higher. And then with the back orders on a lot of these components from Nvidia, like that's why they're saying like right now America's being held up by like 4 companies. Let me figure out let me see what those companies are. Okay, yeah, so it's Nvidia, Meta, Microsoft, Broadband Inc. So pretty much the S&P should have only went up 3 or 4%, but it did go up to the 10% that is normal, but it's because the 6% comes from these companies, and they're pretty much just shuffling fake money around. So like as Nvidia is needing like parts for their GPUs or whatever, they're buying it from whoever else. But then it's like, Meta is paying Microsoft and Meta paying Nvidia. Nvidia is now paying this other company, and this other company is also investing in Microsoft. So it's kind of like going round table, but then it's all fake money, because it's like if you have 2 friends, friend A and friend B, you give money to friend A, he owes money to friend B, you owe money to, or B owes money to you, and then you also need to pay friend A for. It's like it just keeps going in a big ass circle, and then you buy something else from friend A, and you just keep passing the money along. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of loans and payments. So even though it looks like there's like $30 million in circulation, let's just say 30 million. I have no clue. $30 million in circulation. It's actually $1 million that's just going around the 4 companies 10 times. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's interesting to think that like all this, and that's the thing too. I've already known this, but now I'm being a bit more vocal about it. I need to speak up more. But yeah, all this shit is fake as fuck. It's crazy. Like when you look at things, like none of it means it. It means you can. Everyone else is just on the same sort of timing as you. Like. And this sounds elementary. It sounds like, yeah, obviously, duh, we know this. But when you really think of it, it's like, bro, it's just a system to kind of keep you in it, because even if you wanted to live outside of it, you could never do it. If you're like, man, fuck the rat race, I can easily go out, hunt for my shit, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, you can't just live wherever. Like, you have to have a property. And if you have a property, the government's going to know about it. They're going to want taxes. You got to have money in order to pay it, or else they repossess your house. Like, you could try to live in the woods, but then again, if someone comes in and is like, yo, you're on my property, you're in my woods, then boom, you got to get the fuck up out of there. Or they have to pay the money, and then you're pretty much just living off of someone else's property who is in the game. And then when they are told, or, when there's a census, you're still included in the census. You can't live, and you can't just collect rainwater. You can't drink out of lakes and shit like that. Actually, I don't know about that lake one, but, you can't collect rainwater. That's like, they say it fucks up like the groundwater or some shit. It's like all this bullshit where it's like, well, you're actively like poisoning the earth, and you're saying I can't drink rainwater and I'll go to jail. What the fuck is that? Like, it all revolves around money, and it's like you can't even live unless you do have some money. I mean, unless you really want to be homeless. But that's the thing. Even if you had the wherewithal to care for yourself and live off the land, they won't let you do that. You can't just plant a garden. They're going to be like, yo, you had to put up a fucking, citywide ordinance for you to plant a garden that we have to approve. And that's going to cost you $50. And then we're going to have to review it. And then you're also going to have like an architectural firm have to look at it and make sure it don't fuck up some other bullshit down the line. It's like all this bureaucratic bullshit where it's like, I just want to live alone and not have to deal with the stresses of bullshit ass life where, I have to go into work with a boss who's cheating on his motherfucking wife and unhappy with his goddamn kid, so he's taking it out on me, and now I gotta deal with this bullshit and try to make sense of it all. It's like, let me get out of here. Let me eat some fucking berries. Let me go shoot a fucking bear. I mean, I don't know if you would shoot a bear. because that would be bullets and you probably can't make a gun. Because there was a nigga that tried to make like a toaster on his own and the shit cost like thousands of dollars because of the fucking supply chain that we have right now is so like intricate that it makes it, feasible to actually do. But if you wanted to like try to make a fucking mold for a toaster in order to even make like the side paneling, like it'd be extremely expensive to do. It would be ridiculous. So I don't know. Shit, whatever. I'm gonna end the podcast. Fuck it. Hey, I appreciate you tuning in. Next podcast is also gonna be political. So if you don't like this one, then you ain't gonna like the next one. Wait till next week, which is the week of the 18th. So appreciate it. Love y'all. Don't be a dickhead to people. Keep your head on the swivel and stay safe.